Hey tribe, what's up? We're gonna have a heart-to-heart talk here for a little second here. Before we get to this, I have to sit in here. They are playing some loud music outside. This is the only room that it's kind of quiet in, that it doesn't pick up the music. But what happens when life kicks you in the balls a little bit? Sorry for my language, but with soda water. But what happens? What happens when you're expecting a breakthrough? Okay. You've been doing this work, manifesting, trying to live your dream life. No matter what you're doing, you've been doing affirmations for months. You've been getting up, going to sleep in the feeling state, or at least going to sleep thinking about who you really want to be, that most successful version of you. Bottom line is, dude, you put in the flipping work. You understand? That's how it feels. You know, you put in the work and you're expecting a miracle, you're expecting a blessing, and you have probably one of the biggest doors shut in your face. Okay? What do you do? And maybe this door can be, no, it's huge for you. I mean, maybe this door is a relationship door. Maybe just the years of dedication being in a relationship. You have your whole heart into it, and it finally ends. Maybe it ends in a shock to you, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a door, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a financial door. You understand? Maybe financially you're meat and potatoes. Maybe it's one job, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you got several streams of income, but it's your meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? That door closes. And it closes abruptly. What do you do? What do you do, my friends? And it you know, your door could be anything. Something I didn't mention, but it's huge for you. You know what I mean? When this door closes, this could easily shatter your life. This could easily send you down a rabbit hole of depression. Okay? But don't let it, baby. Don't let it. Come closer to me. Don't let it. You see, just be transparent. I just had like a huge door close. You know what I mean? A huge door. Listen, guys. The whole time, the last month, Aang and I are planning to move to Bangkok, buy a house. Okay. Aang's all excited. I am all excited. You know what I mean? We're getting everything ready, pretty much packing stuff up. And, doing everything right. The king of manifesting. And I literally, and even today's Aang's birthday. Okay, so we went out for her birthday, went up to the city. We took her dad, Guy, her nephew, then his girlfriend. So there's 5 of us to her birthday dinner. We came back. I took a nap. Woke up. I don't know why. I just had an urge to check my email. Check the email, baby, on a Sunday. And even though I'm being funny in a little bit, that's just my personality. Being lighthearted around it. But I just had a huge fucking door close. A huge door close. Okay, my friends. But what do we do? Now, it's weird. Listen, I've been doing this work for a long time. It's weird. It's weird when this door closed. Because the old Chad, the old me, would be flipping the fuck out. Okay? The old me would be like, holy hell, dude. What to do? You know what I mean? And would be scrambling, wouldn't be able to sleep. What can I do to fix it? You know what I mean? But it's weird. Like I cut the email, the door closed like that, baby. There's no turning back the clock. Okay. And I can't share with you the details what it is. I mean, it doesn't really matter on that. But at the same time, I had this enormous peace around it. At the same time, it didn't scare me. You know what I mean? At the same time, like I've stood in a fire before, and I knew with me remaining in a fire, walking through it, I knew I'd live through it. You understand? Like when you stay in the battle, you burn your ships behind you, you get more confident around it. And it's really a hard feeling. I want to motivate you a little bit, but it's really a hard feeling to really describe what I was feeling. Sorry, I'm burping at the same time because I'm drinking soda water. Because it didn't shake me. It didn't shatter me like it would have the old version of Chad. It was literally like almost when the door, listen to this, guys. Almost when the door closed, like there's a really weird feeling in me. It just brought peace to me. It's really weird. It just brought peace to me. And I don't want to go on and on and on about me. Let's focus on you here for a second. Because for some of us, you know, when the huge door closes, a life-shattering door, what you have to understand, I don't want to preach to you, but what you have to understand, what you have to get is when a door closes, there's always a bigger and better door, baby. There's always opportunity. Abundance is divine. That means that abundance isn't all things. No matter what happens, there's good in it. There's abundance seeking out of it. My friends, that's what you have to understand. And for some of us are a whole bunch of different stages with this. Some of us, you know, it's hard to hear this. It's hard, you know, you really want to fight and debate, well, Chad, you know, what do you mean there's good in it? But you got to know, you got to be confident in yourself that when a huge fucking door closes, slams you in your face, listen guys, this is a meat and potatoes type of door. You know what I mean? When the door closes, this is a life-changing door that closed. Okay? But you have to remember, I don't want to get spiritual on you, but you got to remember, source is inside you. God is within you. Okay? Abundance is your birthright. If source is inside you, God is within you, you're endowed with God's power. Okay? So if you're endowed with God's power, that means you can take yourself out of it. But it also means that God isn't going to let you drown, baby. You understand? You have to understand that we talk about this. I talk about this in other videos a lot. When you start becoming the most successful version of you, okay, you start acting like it, you start behaving like it, You start thinking like it. Then you get really good with it. You understand, like maybe 90% of the time, dude, you're on your game. Okay? And the other 10% you drift off and you come back, you drift off and come back. What you gotta understand is that the old version of you can't come with you. You know what I mean? When you're seeking your dream life, the old version of you can't come with you. What I mean by that, the old version of you can't come with you. It means your old habits, your old thinking patterns. It can't come with you. And lots of times when a huge meat and potatoes door closes, a life-shattering door closes, lots of times what you'll find is this door was too much attached to the old version of you. So it had to close. It had to close, my friends. You understand? It had to close in order for you to be able to move to a higher standard of living, in order for you to really get your dream life, to live life on your terms. You see, it's just our perception of everything, isn't it? And when I sat down to do this video, this video isn't going to last too much longer, but I just really got the news maybe like 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, something like that. And like I said, I'm not going to repeat myself, but I didn't flip out, I didn't freak out, I didn't have a meltdown. Got the email. Okay, can't change it. You know what I mean? But even when I thought about it, I was like, at one point it just like brought some peace, like, oh, I don't have to deal with that anymore. Listen, like I laugh at it. I don't have to deal with that anymore, even though this was a huge door that shut. Okay. But at the same time, I know, and you should know, when I talk about me, you should put yourself in there too. I know, and you should know that you can figure it out. I know that a bigger and better door just fucking opened when I wake up tomorrow. Okay? I know that's true. And you should know that's true also. Deep down, even though you might be struggling with it more than I am. Okay? But deep down, you know what I'm saying is true. This is just refining you. That's all it is. It's refining you. And whatever you're going after in life, that big door you think so big was a weak point. That's why it had to shut. It's holding you back for some reason. Sometimes we don't know how it's holding us back, but it's holding you back. It had to shut. Listen to this. It had to shut because you're not shutting the door yourself. Aha. Thought I was going to end the video, but I got that thought. You know what I mean? Because listen, like even when I think back to the door that shut on me, even several months ago, listen to this, several months ago, I thought about shutting this door. I thought about just ending it. Not just out of emotion, but just I just had this deep intuition, deep gut feeling just to end it, you know what I mean? To end this door. And no, I'm not talking about Aang. You know what I mean? And I didn't. But that door was just ended today. Not with my approval. And it kind of made me think, doing this video, Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard said, like in his live lectures, you can go on my YouTube channel, my playlist, I have a Neville Goddard playlist. This is actually him teaching, it's not AI. And with one of his lectures, he talks about a lot about this. It's like he said this with it. I love Neville Goddard. I love when he says this, because he says, like, don't be surprised when you start doing this work, okay, no matter if you want to call it law of assumption, when you start wanting to live your dream life, be the most successful version of you, when you start wanting to live life in your terms, he said, don't be surprised that you go to work the next day and you get fired. He said, don't be surprised if that happened. But then he said, then he follows up and he said, if it does happen, he said, don't fight it. Don't fight it. Because he said it needed to happen. It needed to happen in order for you to move on, because life had to shut that door because you're not shutting it. Doesn't that add another perspective on it? And when I say this, and it's not even my words, you know what I mean? But it's so true. It's so true even in my circumstance, because I think back like 3 months ago, I wanted to shut this door, but I flipping didn't. And it was shut. And it was so funny, like when it was shut, when I got the email, I didn't fight it. I didn't fight it emotionally. You know what I mean? Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Let bygones be bygones. And know that abundance is yours. Abundance is coming. A bigger and better door is opening. In other words, it's almost like a test. You know what I mean? And what I mean by a test is, really a test is, are you going to behave like the old version of you? How the old version of you would react and respond to something? Or are you going to react like the most successful version of you? You know what I mean? You're going to react like the rich side of you, the wealthy you. Okay? You're going to shake it off, baby. You're going to shake it off because you know that better is coming. You know abundance is coming into your life. You know that overflowing abundance is coming in your life. Okay? These are laws of the universe. This is a law of the universe, my friends. When one door closes, a better door is fucking opening. You have to understand that. You have to believe that. Okay, my friends? But other than that, don't want to keep this video too long. Just want to share those thoughts with you. And other Lap Tribe, comment below. Let me know what's going on. Let me know, like, if you had a door shut. Okay. You don't have to get particular and get, I don't need to know what door it was. But how did you handle it? How are you handling it right now? You understand? Is it shaking you? Comment below, let me know. Okay, tribe? Other than that, remember I love you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.